Hey, it is Thursday night and I'm coming in the last hour with my cards that we're going to make for Stamp Camp on Sunday. So I have 4 cards and I will go over how to assemble them. I have them already made, a couple of them. So bear with me. I will kind of explain things to you. It's very easy. So I'm going to switch over and show you. My lighting's not the best, so I'm going to be fiddling with my lighting just a little bit. Okay, so this one here is our first one. It is using a berry, a darker cherry cobbler, I think might have been the color of it. And then you're going to have a little bit of this is vellum here with the map on it, and you're going to layer it over gray cardstock. And I'm not giving you any gems or anything to put on it because you're going to be putting on that little puffy, and it's I put it on your map. You just put it wherever you want on your map, like you're on a GPS kind of thing or whatever. That's kind of the concept of that. And this saying, life is beautiful, right? I thought went with it real well. So you are going to have these come into pieces. Let me see if I can find one here. Here we go. Okay, let me pour out the pieces that you have, but this is the final cut for it. So you will have 2 gray pieces. One is large, that will go on the inside, and since you can write on that with a black pen or a journaling marker or something like that, and write your little note to whoever you're going to send the card to. This gray one is going to be, when you put it down, you can put it anywhere you want. Put it towards the top half of the card. It can go, I put this one down just a little bit. It can definitely go up a little higher if you want. And I'll show you my little trick. This is going to go flush to the surface, and then you're going to put, now on your map, you do need to look at it because you can read the words. So you want to make sure you have it, number one, facing up the right way. So the darker black is going to go facing up, and you want your words to be put on here so that way you're reading it like a map. You don't want it to be too funky. So that will go flush as well. Now, because we're going to be covering up the top part and the bottom part with items, you can definitely go ahead and use your stamping thing. Where did that go? Oh. Okay, you can tell this is, I'm really going late. Your stamping seal. So you can just put a little bit on the top, a little bit on the bottom, and put it here. And then when you put your wording, that will go on the top. It'll cover over any of that might be showing through. And your bike will go on the bottom, and you will put it over where you have the stamp and seal and kind of cover that as well. So the trick I did here for this with the wording is, so I took this, I flipped it over, I used my stamp and seal, I did a strip on here, then I took this strip and I put it on the top over the stamp, the seal, the adhesive, and I placed it on there fairly evenly where you got your thing on both sides. So now you've got it stuck to your stamp and seal, but now there's no stamp and seal left to stick it to the front of this. So then you're going to take this, you're going to run it over the top of this piece, and then you're going to put it on top. So I took the top of the gray of the sentiment and put it on the top of the map, not the top of the gray. And the thinking I had with that is so that it looks like you are in a state park and you're at a map trying to find where you are on the trail, so to speak. So I kind of have it looking like that. Is what that is. Your bike is getting put on with dimensionals underneath, and the wheels are big enough that you could put a couple dimensionals, big dimensionals on each wheel. And then you're just going to put it over the top. And then you're going to take your puffy and then place it wherever you want on your map. Now you're all going to have a different color. Not everyone's going to have the same color of this puffy, okay? So that is card number 1. That's fairly simple. Card number 2 is going to be twice as simple. Just as simple is what I'm going to say. And I might turn the light up on this. So you're going to have, it's going to be in one of the Stampin' Up! Envelopes, because this came from a kit. And I thought of a really neat way to use the bicycle, because this bicycle comes 2 different ways in the stamp set with the dies. So one is where you have your stamped bike and the die cuts around the entire bike. The second one is the bike that we're going to have in our next card. So this, you all are going to have a silver piece here, and you're going to have to punch out or pop out the bike. I saved some time and just cut them apart from each other and put them in your thing, and figured you all can do that. And your wheels, the in between the spokes, those can come out as well. Some of them are already have fallen out. The ones that are left, you just take your thumbnail and just kind of pop them out. They pop out quite easy. So you are going to have your card base, and I believe everyone has a blue card base. Not everyone is going to have the exact same card, but most of you will. And it's going to be quite simple. So what I did is I took and cut with a die cut, and I cut out the middle of the card. Then I took a die cut that was a little larger, and that's going to go over the top, okay? So you're going to take this piece here, and you're going to put it on top of the card, and there's going to be a small edge, like an 1/8 of an inch of an edge around the entire piece, see? Then you are going to take this piece here, and you're going to take adhesive and you're going to put it onto this flush. And then once you've done that, you're going to flip it over and you're going to put dimensionals on the back. Now because it's a longer piece, you want to put dimensionals 3 different spots on the back: top, bottom, and middle. So I would put 2, 2, 2, and if you really want, you can put 3. But this will fit the large dimensionals in here, and then that easily will fit in the middle space here. And this covers up the fact that you cut a hole in it. And then you are going to pop out your bicycle, and your wheels are going to go behind. See here, they're going to go behind your frame of the bike. So you are going to take a glue dot, and a glue dot's going to go in the middle of each one of these. And then this bike frame is going to go on top of those wheels. Then when you've done that, you're going to put dimensionals on the back of the wheel in the middle. You'll have to use the minis, and then this will go over the top of this card. So you will have your bike will go over the top, and you're going to have your your wheels underneath the frame, and voila, it's done. I did not give you any kind of a sentiment for this because I figured it could be used for so many different types of things. You can use it for a sympathy card. You can use it for a farewell card. You could use it for a summer card, a camping card. It could be used for so many different themes that I didn't give you any sentiments to put on. Now, if you have your own, you could open up the inside and put a sentiment on the inside. Now, I didn't give you anything, I didn't cut anything to put in the middle of this card because, again, it is lighter and you should be able to use a black pen and write in it. You can take your own cardstock and cut and put a piece in there. So if you do that, it's always going to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. That's always going to be the inside of these cards. So you can put something in there on the inside if you want, and you will have, this card will be done, and you have custom envelope for this particular card. So that one is done. I didn't assemble it because I didn't have, I ran out of ones that are, what do you call this, vertical. All I have left are horizontal, and I didn't want to throw anybody off by having a horizontal card on display, and then all of you are actually going to have one that's vertical. So that's that reason. All right, card number 3. This one will have a little bit more for you to do. This one is actually, you will see, it is one that is bent. See how it bends? It's not considered a Z fold because it doesn't go back out. It doesn't make the letter Z. So this is going in. This is one. This was one of the cards styles that we had on our checklist. And now I know what I am missing. I will. Oh, I think I found it. So here is what you're going to have. You're going to have blue card base. On the inside, you're going to have white, so you can put that down right away. You are going to have layers that go into each section. So you're going to have this, I don't know if it's berry burst, I believe so. And then you're going to have your designer series paper that goes on top. And I'm going to tell you right off that if you want to have a scissors or even the paper cutter handy, I did cut these, I wanted them 1/8 of an inch, you know, around. but they ended up looking really, really close. And so I did take a scissors and I trimmed mine up a little bit. So you can do the same. You can trim it up a little bit so there's a little bit more space on the outer edge between the designer series paper and the cardstock underneath. You will have 2 pockets. So I'm kind of put it on the back like a pair of jeans. So you have 2 pockets. You will have a pair of sunglasses, and you will, I had mine hanging out of one of the back pockets. There. And you will have a strip that says Newsflash. The one that I sent to Minnesota is a little bit different because I took the word Newsflash and I folded the top and I have it kind of tucked out of the other pocket, so it's coming out at an angle. So that is a very cute idea as well. So I have sunglasses out of one pocket, out of the other pocket I have Newsflash. You will have a strip of embellishments that are stars. So put as many as you want on your card. Your sunglasses are gold, but you are going to have small little hearts that are this berry burst color. You will actually need to use glue or a small glue dot behind it will work as well. And then put them down. If you have glue dots, great, because then you don't have to wait for glue to dry. Then you can put glue dots behind the sunglasses as well and put that down. You don't have to wait for it to dry. Now your back pockets, now as you see, this bends right in the middle of where my back pockets are. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your back pockets where you have just the bottom half of each pocket is going to have some stamp and seal behind it, and then you're going to place it on here as if it was pockets of the back pair of your jeans. So kind of place them a little close to each other, kind of the same distance from the edge as well. I put my Newsflash here like I told you. On the other sample, the Newsflash is coming out of the back pocket. So here is going to be, let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. You are going to have another strip that says "You're Fabulous." That one will get put on the Berry Burst. You can use, I believe the stamp and seal will work. I think it's wide enough for that. If you are worried about it, then you can take glue dots or glue, whichever is going to work. Then when you are ready to put this, you're going to put this on the inside. We've done this before in previous cards, and you're going to put on the back probably 3 large dimensionals, or if you don't have them and you just got the small ones, put a whole little row of small dimensionals, but you want it on the bottom half here. And then that is going to go on the inside towards the bottom, because you want as much of your white still showing, so you have something to write on. And so your Fabulous is going to go about like here. It's going to be on dimensionals, so when you put this down, it will go right underneath You're Fabulous. So it'll say Newsflash, You're Fabulous. It's cuter than cute, and it's just a matter of putting everything together, assembling and having the proper adhesive and glue dots, and then this one will work. So this is card number 3. Now we're on to card number 4. Card number 4 is kind of really quite cute, and I'll show you what it is. So this is from the now I'm blanking out. The stamp set is, yeah. It is Notes and Totes. And so you have die cuts, and the die cut will create this beach bag. And it will also cut out your strips that you put on, and I used a coordinating color to the beach bag. So when you get your pieces, you will have a strip of designer series paper that will go on the very bottom. So just line it up. Then you're going to have a white piece of cardstock that will go on top, and it will go fairly flush to the top. You don't have to go all the way to the top. And you're going to have about one row of this designer series paper. There's going to be about one line here before it goes to another row, and that's kind of where your white cardstock is going to go. You're going to have a small strip here of this pool party, and if you have a really small glue dots, go ahead. It's not as messy. Otherwise, you will need to use glue behind there. The best thing to do is make sure you have glue on each edge so it will stay down, and maybe one in the middle. The sample that I sent to Minnesota is a train wreck. I'm going to admit it. I cut the pieces for the top. I cut them the wrong size. So I put it through the paper trimmer and trim each side so it would, kind of be, look like line up. And it looks terrible. There's two different ways you can handle this beach bag. One is, so you will have, it comes like this. It's a flat piece of designer series paper that is, basically it's one side of the beach bag. And that's all you're going to use for this card. What's neat about this set is you will be able to cut two of these pieces and put them back to back and create an actual little beach bag. But I'm going to use it for the front of the card. Now you can do it two ways, and I'm going to show you the way that I did it for the card that I sent to Minnesota. Was I had this beach bag flush to the front. So you're going to use glue, because these are really small. Put a line of glue on the front of the cardstock in each corner. So you're going to bend, you're going to find there's edges there. There's an edge, I don't know if you can see this. So you got an edge here, and you've got another edge here, right? So it's the second edge that you're going to have a line going down. And then you're going to have a piece of cardstock that's going to go across, and it's going to actually go over these pieces that come down. So this will actually get put on last. You do want to actually really secure those the ends of that pretty well, because there's two ways that we can do this. You see this little flap. So what I did for the sample I sent to Minnesota is I cut this bottom flap off. And you can actually, if you want, cut these little tiny flaps off as well. And then you will take the bag, and it will be like this on top. And you can kind of put it at an angle, do whatever, okay? And I gave you a small piece of twine, and then you will have a little tag that says hi. That's going to go on there. That's going to be your sentiment. Just very simple. And that is one way you can do this. Now another way you can do it is you have these, you will tuck in on each side, but you will kind of bend them on the next bend that goes up. You will kind of keep that bent a little bit. And then you want to keep this bottom flap, you want to keep that on. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you have that, you're going to have that up a little bit. And if you want, you will have enough room to fit something inside that beach bag. So I don't know if you can tell this, but I guess we're going to pull this up. There's a little bit of a, see, there's space in there. So now you have this beach bag, and you want the bottom, because if you put something in there, maybe like a Ghirardelli chocolate square or something like that, and put that in, you will want the bottom there to catch it so it doesn't fall through. So what I am going to do though is, I don't know if you remember these Ampharia packs, where you have all of these pop outs. You can pop out all these flowers, and it does have sentiments as well that you can pop out. So I just found some flowers that I was gonna that I thought would look really neat. I'm just gonna show you. This one here is strawberry patch with these cute flowers. You're not gonna see the strawberries, unfortunately. I'm gonna put this down in a little bit like this, and then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna tuck this in, but you need it down a little bit so the flowers pop out. That's really cute. So if you want, you can actually add in more things. Like I've got this green piece of greenery. I can put in that piece of greenery. And then I found these yellow roses. I thought, well, that would be a good accent as well. So then you might want to put that greenery kind of to the side or over the front. And then, so see, you can do that. You can maybe get some baby's breath and decorate it that way. Or like I said, some type of candy. This is going to be super cute, and you're going to be crying for more. I just know it. But the Notes and Totes stamp set and die cuts is what was used. And that in itself is actually it's a good investment, because if you use it to the full, I don't know if that's the way to word it, but let's say you're going to make a bunch of cute little bags, beach bags, for a shower or something like that. Even if you end up making 20, for a shower, and then you make some for cards along the way, it will end up really being very cost effective and quite cute. And you're not going to find this at Hallmark. I'll tell you that right now. And you can change everything to go along with what you have for designer series paper for your bag. And that's how I did this. I matched up the pool party with this, and then I use this as an accent, because this actually comes with a bunch of different designer series paper, and this is one of the papers in that pack. So I do know that this actually is there to coordinate with it. So I'm going to fade back to me. I hope that you watch this before coming to Stamp Camp. I did move it up a couple hours because those of us here in California have a funeral to attend on Zoom, so we need to make sure that we are done and ready to go for that, and that's why I moved it up. So next month we will discuss what we will do for time next month. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you find there's something in here that's a benefit and you can use in your own craft room and your own supplies. And definitely, if you are looking for supplies or anything like that, go to Stampin' Up, go to the clearance rack if you want something that's not very expensive. See what they have. They always have something. And you can find something that you don't have to have a huge investment, but you have something in your craft room to work on or to work with, put it that way. And I think I've kind of explained kind of what I wanted to do here. So I will see you all on Sunday.